The big question that I looked at when I was writing Healthy Aging is it necessary to get sick as we get old? We commonly see that certain very serious diseases become much more common after the age of 60. Now, the big ones are cardiovascular disease, neurodegenerative diseases like Alzheimer's and Parkinson's, and cancer. So is it necessary to get one? And we often call these the diseases of aging or age-related diseases. And these account for the majority of premature disability and death as people get older. So is it necessary that we're going to get one or another of these as we get older? And I think if you look at the research in this area, the answer clearly is no, that the aging process can be separated from age-related disease. And if that's the case, then it seems to me the goal of healthy aging is to compress the time of disability and decline at the end of life into as short a period as possible. So to live long and well and have a rapid drop-off at the end. I think that's what we'd all like. There's a technical term for that. I didn't invent it, but I've been trying to popularize it. It's called compression of morbidity, where morbidity has the medical meaning of sickness. So live long and well, die quickly. And by the way, if more people could achieve that, then the economic, social, political concerns about having this enormous percentage of the population in the ranks of the old and the oldest is much less of a concern, especially in terms of its impact on the healthcare system. So how do you achieve that? How do you increase your chances of experiencing compression and morbidity? How do you reduce the risk and delay the onset of age-related diseases? I think the answer to that is by attending to all of the factors under your control that we know influence health and risks of disease, starting with nutrition, with diet, how you eat, with physical activity, with how you manage stress, with how you tend to rest and sleep, with the nature of your relationship, all of those things. So let me talk a bit about nutrition, since that's been a special interest of mine. We see today people on incredibly restricted diets. And it's gotten very difficult. I find as a home cook, it's gotten harder and harder to cook for people. There was a wonderful cartoon by Roz Chast in The New Yorker a few years ago titled The Last Thanksgiving. We've all seen these representations of the first Thanksgiving with pilgrims and Indians sitting around a table with the bounty of the New World. So this was 12 very glum-looking people sitting around an empty table with empty plates, and over each head was a balloon. One was gluten-sensitive, one was doesn't eat carbs, one was can't eat sugar, allergic to dairy, and there's nothing to eat. So this has become such a problem that there is now a technical term that's been proposed for this called orthorexia nervosa. It is not yet accepted as an eating disorder by the American Psychiatric Association, but it might be soon. And it's defined as obsessive neurotic attention to the health aspects of what you're eating. And I think this has become this is such a distinctive trend in our population today, and it's so at odds with people in other cultures. The French and Italians look at us as a nation of crazed food nuts. For them, eating is all about pleasure, and that there's no hang-ups about, concerned about what eating this is going to do to you. I think many Americans approach the table as a minefield today. Make one mistake and you go to nutritional hell. Now, when I was in Okinawa a few weeks ago, I spent some time there's a village called Ogimi, which is called the Longevity Village, and it's promoted itself as having a special concentration of healthy old people. And I was at a community event, and there was a panel. They brought out about 5 of their centenarians, all of whom were glowing and happy. And they were asked for the secret of their long life. Everyone, the first words that they said were, "Eat everything." I don't think they meant McDonald's in that. I think they meant eat everything that was available to them in their traditional diet. But I think that's a fascinating observation. So I would say that the most obvious rule of good nutrition is to avoid processed, refined, and manufactured food. I mean, that's what's doing us in. It's Michael Pollan wrote that our great-grandparents would not recognize as food what most people eat today. And I think that's absolutely true. And this has had enormous consequences. One area of tremendous research today is on the microbiome and how the flora in our gut really influences everything, both physical health and mental health. And one reason that this has changed so much in our population is the food that we're eating. That industrialized food stimulates the growth of different kinds of organisms than whole natural food does. So that's the simplest rule of healthy nutrition, is to avoid that stuff.